All right, so theoretically, we are live. Hello, Chris. Thank you so much for coming on today. So we are live. So let me introduce this man. His name is Chris Mansfield. He is I can't even say up and coming, but he is got a lot of shit happening in Manchester over the next few months. Is that fair to say? Months, years? So you are the head chef of Stark Brewing Company. Okay. Huh. All right. Hold on one second. I apologize. For some reason, we are not streaming audio. I apologize to everybody. We should be, though. This is exactly what I was worried about. I can't even say. Oh, we were streaming audio. We lost it somewhere.
Years?
Okay. Hold on one second. No, it's hold on one second. Audio output capture. That's what I need. That's where I fucked up. Hold on.
Yours?
Headphones. All right. I'm pretty sure that'll fix it. So let's continue to talk for a moment, and then hopefully this will pop back on. Although I don't know why you popped up.
Live.
Oh no, I popped up. I'm good. You can hear me here. Yeah. Okay. I'm pretty sure.
Exactly what I was worried about.
I'm pretty sure this will fix it.
I'm pretty sure that'll fix it.
Can you just give me a quick talk?
Continue to talk
You're
for a
back.
moment,
All right.
and hopefully-
We did it, guys.
All right, I'm
we
back.
fucking
I'm
did
good.
it.
Why you popped up live?
All right.
All right.
We are audio positive.
So let's start again, since I kind of fucked up that intro anyways. So we are here
Hey, no worries, dude.
with the man, Chris Mansfield. He is the chef at Stark Brewing Company. He is the head chef at the latest and greatest Bond Brewing and Barbecue in downtown Manchester. He is got a food truck coming up. He's got a fucking whole history of restaurant service, fine dining service. He's a veteran. He does a ton of work with the local veterans groups. He's just the fucking man, and I'm super stoked to have him on here. I feel like I did a better job with that intro, right?
I was just saying, dude, that was a little lost, but that was a very excellent introduction. I really appreciate it. I'm just happy to be here, Nick. Happy to chat and talk with you. Hey, just pleased to be a part of the project. It's one of those good back scratcher things. I mean, I don't believe your client base does not want to go eat slowly cooked, beautiful meat.
Everybody wants to.
But now they have an opportunity at a new place too.
Who doesn't? I mean, honestly, I've been saying for a long time that because really Manchester has Casey's Rib Shack. My cat's jumping up on me. Casey's Rib Shack. There's a place in Londonderry that I can't remember the name of. That's sort of like a cafe. It's like barbecue and cafe now.
Well, I know good. The best barbecue currently in the state of New Hampshire is
Bond
still.
Brewing and Barbecue.
Yeah, well, I like to toot my own horn, but Goody Coles up outside the Epping traffic circle.
Right.
That's good. I go to KC's pretty frequently. I consider Kevin a friend. I love supporting him. And
I'm a
he's a good dude, and you see that there are things, so many things outside the scenes you see that he's just he does the right thing when given the opportunity. So that's an admirable quality. He doesn't never really do it in the spotlight.
Yeah, no, I've always been a big fan of Casey's, and I just mean there's good barbecue in the state, but I feel like in Manchester it's really just Casey's, and there's smoke. Big Kahuna's is right outside, right, and then there's that place in London.
You got Smokehouse at Amherst.
I've never been there.
Run by a Navy vet. That's pretty solid. I mean, it's right on the Amherst Bedford border, so it's not terribly far. It's great, but they do it so well and traditional. It's hard to get it. If you don't have it in there, you're not gonna get food because they make enough batch to cover the nut, and that's how they shut down.
That's awesome. That's one of the
I admire that. If you could have a business model like that and it keeps your business growing, God bless you.
I think that's one of the interesting things about barbecue cooking compared to like other restaurants is like, since it takes like fucking 40 hours to cook, you really have to have your numbers down, right? Like you have to have a pretty good idea of who's coming in, and fucking you got to just like sell until you can't sell anymore, right?
You can't ever be ashamed of selling out. If you sell out of something, especially where it's a specialty made or made for the occasion, like you can make ribs, and you can keep them at the proper temperature. You can prepare them the best way you can, but they're going to go to poop fast.
Right.
And yes, I did call that shit poop because.
How do you?
But it's easy to fail. It's easy to fail. It's hard to do right.
So actually, I've never even thought about that. But like, how do you? So do you time that? Like, you must just put ribs on at different times to like cycle them and prepare them throughout the day.
Well, so you usually to be profitable and to like it's different than if people were coming over to Storm's End and me and Tara are wearing our floral sundresses and our summer linens.
That's an image.
Well, trust me, at Master Gunnery Sergeant Philip Bateman's retirement down in New Orleans, we're going to walk in there quite well appointed. Have a good feeling. And that would be coming from our good friends at HawaiianHangover.com. So, big ups to them. But barbecue is a unique situation. You have to create at 3 different levels. You're trying to time when it's going to be busy, when it's not going to be busy, how popular you are, like how much do I need to produce, and what's that little extra? What separates me from everybody else? And for us, it's we don't just do barbecue. It's like a good version of Chipotle. So we're taking our smoked chicken products and taking that in and turning that into a nice Chipotle, a nice roasted pepper chicken. And we're taking our smoked chicken and, chicken thighs and throwing it on the smoker, let them go. Just get enough to get that flavor into there after being brined, and just you're building a better product. Your client base is going to know it. It's stuff that the thing about when everything is slow and low, it's not so much the time you take at the introductory points, it's the monitoring throughout. Like the guys who buy the big green egg and like, oh yeah, look at my tri-tip. I'm not throwing this on this bad berry for 8 hours at 125 degrees. God bless you. Because you just did. Yeah. Sorry. I wasn't to make fun.
No, please go ahead.
Although I'm probably going to make fun of a few other people groups during our conversation.
That's fine. I'm here for it. So you one of the like restauranting in restaurant touring, running a restaurant, like restaurants are already they're thin margins though, right? Like it's already a must be a hard thing to do.
Well, it's only like it's a socioeconomic issue because cost of goods, the loss of the value of American dollar, all that stuff factors into not just how we deal with suppliers, how we deal with customers, how we deal with if we don't own the property. Like And one of the great things we've been able to do, because we have a stable customer base down at Stark Brewing Company, is we've been able to maintain employees, keep people in better shape, and put them in better. Yeah. And Peter Telge, there's a lot of people that may not like Peter Telge. Dude's like a father to me.
I don't even know who that is.
Okay. So it was a Disney movie. He'd be just a big happy walrus.
Okay.
But he gives people jobs, and not just that. If you do Peter one good favor, you get three back from him, and his tank never runs out of that.
That's awesome.
And he's a good cat. I can't. He's like a father.
Is that the owner? Is that the owner of the?
Yeah, he's been the owner of Stark Brewing Company since 1996. Oh, excuse me, 1994, because we're coming on the 40th.
Were they the first brewery around here?
Yeah, Peter's. That's why like his name. He never nobody heard. Gordon Ramsay. Any Guy Fieri, none of those idiots come down to see us because we're just happy, good crocodiles of the Manchester, service industry. Because why should we change when we're still good at what we do fundamentally?
Right.
And we just do it. We do it well. Enough people come in so we can grow and be, one of the better restaurant groups to work for, while everybody else is scrambling for help. And it's because Peter takes care of his employees. And some of them I don't like inside. Some of those.
Let it all Peter, out, baby. That's why I'm here.
Oh, no, I know. But some of those little Peter. The retention of employees that are experienced sometimes is so valuable that a lot of people don't ever see it. And Peter Sellers recognizes that. And I'll take it. He's a good cat. Because there's other butthead restaurant owners in the city. But I'll only talk about the good ones.
Now, how did you kind of get your start in the food service industry? Like, what was that like?
Actually, pretty close to home. I grew up in Amherst, which is why I'm drinking a fine white while conversating on a podcast, because it pairs very well.
And tuxedo in the background, fine white. No big deal. You're the fanciest person.
And there's definitely not like 2 foot that way. There's not a Jon Snow costume next to a Harry Potter costume.
He showed it to me before the podcast, so I can confirm that those are there.
Well, that's all. If you guys are only fans, the only time I dress up now in costumes is for good children's causes, and usually it's me being Fat Thor. But not a lot of people will hire Fat Thor.
I would hire.
But I got my start in the restaurant industry pretty early in life. I had family members who were parts of it, and it's just a very good story of how seeing other people who came to this country in a versionary state, like they came here as refugees, and their first immediate thought was to give culture while giving and contributing to a local community, which was really great because
where are they from?
So my grandfather, World War II guy, he was part of those. He was on a B-9 the B-17 bomber for the Army Air Corps. So before there was an Air Force. So I do apologize. It is funny because he is my papa, and I have my Papa Jack. So my Papa Jack was the guy who would be running around like on the back of the deck of the movie Unbroken. And my Papa Joe, he helped start the Mile Away, and he brought excellent food to an area that maybe not deserved it, but he found it and he liked it. It reminded him of home. And they just killed it. And it really inspired me, just learning from him, seeing how he did things, the repetition, the precision, how to learn what a pinch was versus just a dash. And it taught me a lot just by being, a little boy sitting there kind of watching the dude do his job like correctly, and not just that, but the care he showed in it. And that's always kind of resonated in me.
So was your Papa Jack? Was he a immigrant from Europe?
No, so yeah, I totally screwed that one up.
Sorry, I'm
No,
getting
my Papa
confused.
Joe.
It's very easy.
Oh no, I know.
It's very easy to confuse
It's
me.
it's like reading Game of Thrones versus watching Game of Thrones. It's like reading the Millennium series versus the girl who kicked the horse. There's just a lot of people in this. So my Papa Jack helped my Papa Joe become an American citizen.
Gotcha.
Papa Joe, being a Swiss immigrant,
Swiss immigrant.
opened up the mile away in scenic Milford, New Hampshire, and seeing both how his business was and how he was in a social environment, it hit me very well. As
Gotcha.
it's hard to describe an 8-year-old. Well, we had
Well,
to
I
get
think
his
we
family.
all have that feel, right? When like our grandfather, you know, like that's a like learning from your grandfather. That's a like I feel like that's something everybody can connect with. Maybe not in the food service industry, maybe not quite to the level of working in fine dining, but I mean, I feel like that's something that is undescribable, but it's something that when you say it, everybody knows exactly what you're talking about.
Absolutely, there's it's because it's something that everybody has that experience, but there's always it's a different catharsis anywhere you go.
Right. Well, maybe not everybody, but hope,
Oh,
hopefully most people. I don't really know how to
yeah,
say that.
I mean, there are so we're talking about Manchester downtown. Well, we're talking about whatever, and there's some soulless people in
That's
Manchester.
true. Hopefully more people get that experience than didn't. I guess is how I should phrase that. But yeah, no, that's a, so what exact? So you said he's Swiss. So what is Swiss food?
Oh well,
Like what
well,
kind
no,
of
he
food
didn't
is
serve
Swiss
Swiss
food?
food. Yeah, it was like classical French, a very good pastry chef. I mean, he knew his market.
Right.
No, nobody's like because talk about Nordic food. There's a lot of pickled fish products, and not a lot of people have the palate to enjoy that. And I mean, using fat to cook fish is cool.
I personally am a big well. All right, so I don't know if you know. Last week I did that pickle challenge, and then ever since then I can't eat anything pickled. Or I like my body is literally rejected.
But you have a pickled. Oh, you need a pickled herring or one of those wonderful things.
I've eaten those before. I generally I
Well,
love.
I
pickled
know
food.
that's it. You put it on a nice piece of bread. You put a spoon.
Yeah.
You scrape the small. It's like everyone's like, oh well, the reason I can't eat anchovies is 'cause the little hairs.
I like the little.
Like,
I like the like texture of the little bones in there. Is that what they are? Bones? Or?
well, no. There's anchovy application as a whole. If I buy it and I use it, I buy the pre-mushed, blenderized anchovies in a tube, and I'm using them very lightly, like just a pea size, boop, and I don't tell anybody I've done it.
I used to eat sardines
Like
like
one
out
of,
of the can. I used to love them.
well, then no, like a sardine, like any animal you serve that's still somewhat attached to its bone is gonna have a second dimension of flavor. But the generalized palate of a lot of people,
Right.
yeah. I mean, I'm adventurous. There's a lot of people that aren't.
Yeah. I do think I feel like this is the thing. I've eaten like a lot of weird foods, and probably not as many as you, but I've eaten a shitload of weird foods. Like I've always tried to like really push myself in that direction because like the way I always looked at it is it's like there's almost nothing you're gonna eat that like you get that's been packaged or made in some way by humans that isn't like it's got to be good enough that it's worth it to like put that out. You know what I mean? Like it's got to be profitable. So like I've always
Well, it's that's continue.
right. So
Sorry.
like I've always had this rule where like I'll try anything twice because I've found that the first time you eat something new, like it's not necessarily that you don't like it. It's that you just don't. You're like you can't really process it because it's so new.
Exactly. It's something you've never dealt with before. It's like putting an Amish person on a roller coaster.
Right. Jesus.
Like I never
You're
really.
like the king of coming up with fucking crazy analogies.
Well, no,
by the way,
because
just so you know.
I appreciate it. Once again, I'll take every compliment I can because I need self validation or else I
So do I. That's why I'm on the
absolutely
internet,
feel
baby.
Oh yeah, believe it or not, my OnlyFans is not doing so well, except for today where I cut that brisket up. But like stuff that's commonplace and other, that's just gaining perspective. And people who have a problem gaining perspective, eh, you have to know your audience. You have to know your market.
Right.
Like Papa Joe was not going to sell the good people of Milford, New Hampshire, a pickled fish product.
Right.
He made exceptional fresh, French pastries, and that really drove into me how he did all that. True procedure, treat it as a science. Sorry, my dog is housing.
That's okay.
At blah, blah,
A
blah.
fucking cat literally just jumped up onto my face a minute ago, and you handled it very well. So,
Panzer. Come. You want to be on the river?
come here, Panzer.
Who's daddy's big boy? Who's daddy's big
Hi,
boy?
puppy.
Come on. Come here, you beasties.
I met a
Come
dog
here.
today that was.
Remember, he's big. He's like 120 pounds. He's very large. Come here. Oh, that's somebody. Oh.
Don't hurt your back. Trying to pick him up.
Oh, I know. I know. Oh, don't worry. He wants to be a part of this very badly. He's trying to assess where he can best access the camera.
He's like,
the camera doesn't.
He's like, I'm gonna jump up and land right on Dad's dick. That's how they always do it.
Oh, come here, dum dum. Come here. Come on. Oh yes. Where the monsters beast. Oh yes.
Hi, handsome. Oh wow, he's beautiful. Hi.
Oh no, he's a very handsome boy. Unfortunately, he is.
The Savannah Bananas. What the hell is the Savannah Bananas?
The Savannah Bananas is the second baseball team I represent, besides my obvious love of the Boston Red Sox. But if you're not familiar with the Savannah Bananas, I severely hope you should look them up on the YouTube.
I absolutely will. What are they? Are they like a real baseball team? I don't know.
Yeah, they're a AAA affiliate and building program, but it's kind of like it's the Harlem Globetrotters of baseball.
Of all the sports, baseball is my least favorite. I can't stand baseball, to be honest with you. And I don't really like any sports.
The chess match of baseball mentally, I appreciate because I played the game.
Right.
I sit there, and even now, I'm like, oh, dude, it's like the seventh inning. Can't you guys just not suck anymore?
My son's getting to that age where he's going to start playing team sports, and I'm just like, please, anything but baseball. Please, anything but baseball. I can't.
I mean, honestly, I think that's why. Like, my mother was always like, my mother's a beautiful, wonderful Irish woman. But you ever seen Everyone Loves Raymond?
Yeah.
Oh, imagine it's Irish people. And that is my dear sweet mother. So needless to say, she didn't football and boxing. Christopher, well, aren't you angry about this? Maybe you should just. And she encouraged me very well in those respects. And I took that route in life, and it's weird that it all merges up, but it all does.
I boxed for many years in Manchester, out of Murphy's in Manchester. I don't know if you know.
Yeah, Linda Murphy has saved more lives in the city of Manchester.
Isn't she the most unbelievable person? She's like
my grandfather brought me in there because he was hoping to, he's like, hey, I can only teach you to fight so much. So my maternal grandfather was the gentleman who raised me, for the most part, because he had retired from the military.
Is this Papa Jack?
Nope, other side. So Papa Jack is fraternal side.
I'm sorry, this is.
That's all right. That's okay. Once again, it's the Game of Thrones Millennium Trilogy. If you stick the girl with the the girl with the dragon tattoo after me, terrible smoker.
Yeah, no. So you went to Murphy's. What years did you go there? I didn't realize you had gone there. Were we there together?
Working at Murphy's?
Yeah, playing at Murphy's. Or I mean, fighting out of Murphy's.
Oh no, that was like 19. Late. I was like 11, so it had to be in like the early 90s, mid 90s.
Gotcha. Yeah, I always forget you're older than me. You just
I know,
look
'cause I act like a
you
child.
look younger than me. I age like milk, and you have done better.
Trust me. Oh no, ever since the Germans have surpassed the Argonne here, and still holding it together a little bit back here. I just went with the last of the Brohicans. And it's been a reasonable haircut. And whenever I need it, my executive groomer, Tara Mansfield, is always welcome to help.
I know my wife cleans up my neck for me because my neck hair grows like infinitely faster than the top of my head hair. So it's like,
You know, it's a separate. I mean, once again, not to get like mildly racist, but that's why
Okay.
Italians have to separate. Well, no, because I mean, the only racial slurs I use is making fun of Italians and French Canadians, which is ironically in the city of Manchester. Yeah, well, sometimes I go, I'll bust out on Malacca. A lot less frequently now that Chuck Lances has opened his new business out in Greece. So I feel like it's the only time I feel like I can put my point across.
so you grew up, you're at the mile away, you're learning to make French pastries, you're doing that thing, you're hanging out with Grandpa Joe, Papa Joe, and he's teaching you the ropes. And then what happened there? Where did you go from there?
So let me tell you guys about the year 1994 because not a lot of people. So it became like mildly not. Yeah, the restaurant industry became a little stagnant. I was 12, so I didn't really know what the hell was going on. But then I noticed, as being a young gentleman, that doing sport got me a little more credentials than following my love of absolutely laminating French pastries and holding it down to the minute.
What's laminating French pastries?
So, well, that's how you make a croissant or a croissant.
How do you laminate?
Or if you want me to talk,
What does that mean?
so you take a flour base, a butter base.
Okay.
So you melt butter, you add that to flour, take water, add it to flour, and maybe a little bit if you want to cheat, like a baking soda or some sort of bicarbonate. And you take those two different plates and you, just like making Damascus steel, you have one get a little denser, and that's how you get the nice fluff.
So wait, what's the laminated part?
Well, you take those different. So like, if you have one layer of the butter base, one of the water bicarbonate base,
Okay.
you fold it together, continue to fold it,
Okay.
and stretch it. Oh yeah,
I think I'm getting it now. And then so that whole process is the
it's the same as making Damascus steel.
okay. Or lasagna.
All you're doing it like. Well, no, I mean, making an Italian meat pie is very easy. You just put meat pie.
I do love my
Buongiorno.
I do love me an Italian meat pie. So you were laminating pastries, you're fucking and how old were you here? 8 you said?
Oh well, no. At that point, when I started playing football at 12, and football I found the wonderful. It's a team sport where everybody's role combines to the greater good, which why most people think maybe that guy's a communist. But no, it's just playing football. Don't worry, I'll make fun of communism much later.
Okay. All right. We'll circle back around to that.
Yeah, so played football, played lacrosse, played hockey, boxed, did a lot of alpha male stuff as a guy who always wanted to kind of come back. And I'm like, yeah, but I can still make a bisque like a motherfucker. Absolutely, I could dissect that cover 2 shell. But you know what I really want to do sometimes? Just deglaze a bourguignon.
I don't even know what that is. Wait, so you laminate it and then you deglaze it?
Oh no, sorry, no. That's when you make it a croissant. I'm sorry, I moved on to finer French art.
I actually had a bisque the other day at a fucking. So my buddy is at my friend's family owns the Westbrook Inn and Dairy. They invited me to an event there, and I fucking had a lobster bisque, and like, you know, my diet mostly consists of like hot dogs and easy cheese, and like nothing.
It's the best part of dude. It's the best part of going to Costco is the hot dog.
Oh, dude, it's so.
Because you're.
Hot dogs are so good. Like, I know that they're terrible for you, and supposedly you lose a minute off your life every time, but I don't know. It's fucking worth
yeah, dude, I chain smoke and drink whiskey, so I don't think a hot dog's gonna fucking take me down. I defeated ISIS.
Totally fucking worth it.
Oh, yeah.
But, anyways, I had this lobster biscuit. It's literally like, it, like, rearranged my white trash DNA. Like, it was so fucking, I felt super fancy after I drank it. And they served it in, like, a little cup. And I just drank it.
That's like a badass chef power move. You make like a hard ass, like, I like seeing that, and I have a lot of my friends that have done that, and I just look at them and I'm like, You motherfucker, that's beautiful.
He made it with coconut
I mean,
milk.
the
It
biggest.
didn't even have any milk in it. It didn't even have any dairy in it. And you couldn't even. It was like, but you couldn't tell. I don't know how the fuck he did it. It literally tasted like fucking. I was drinking warm cream with lobster, and it was the fucking or like butter or something. I don't know. It was fucking nuts. I've never ate anything that good in my life.
One of the finest, weirdest culinary concoctions I've ever come up with. So Broderick Lang and myself used to enjoy wonderful dinner parties. If you haven't followed Broderick on the in the interwebs, employee number 5, and it's NO5. We were making pupil gagnano, which is a pressure cooked methodology for octopus. And so the little pinky of the octopus tentacle, like the little last part, it ends up tasting exactly like the cutter claw, not the crusher, the pincer claw, not the crusher claw of a lobster. And we were dumping that into butter infused mezcal and taking shots and calling them the Jacques Cousteau.
Sounds wonderful.
Because it was.
Wait, so you can taste the difference between the 2 claws of a lobster?
Well, no, yeah, by texture.
What?
Just looking at shape. Dude.
That doesn't even. That seems unreal.
How do you not rip?
That seems not real.
Did your parents not force you to rip open a lobster to prove your New Englandness? Come on.
I could not tell. I could eat a lobster. I could tell you what a lobster. If you gave me lobster,
let's break this down.
I could not tell you.
So
the
a lobster has. Okay, so a lobster has 2 claws. He's got his crusher claw. So let's think of that like this. He's got his pincer claw.
Are they not the same?
Let's think of it.
Are their claws not the same?
Yeah, no. Lobsters have, dude. It's a right hand, left hand situation. So sorry, my fingers will never go back together. We'll circle back to that. Thank you, boxing. But a lobster's crusher claw has like that big lobster steak, that signature lobster claw we all want to see. But towards the tip of it, you have that nice, wicked fine meat that is just that nice little sweet shot.
I feel like I've been eating a lobster wrong the whole time because the whole lobster just tastes the same to me. I don't know what the fuck.
Oh, different texture. I mean, just saying the different texture.
I've never even noticed it's a different texture.
I know. Maybe you have been eating lobster wrong.
What the
it's okay.
Fuck?
The only person who's ever eaten lobster correctly is Daryl Hannah and Splash.
So I gave you, you're telling me if I like took a lobster and I like, just like fucking, that seems impossible.
Who's in the chat?
Chris is in the chat. We just got disconnected. We're reconnecting. That's okay. Just keep going, dude. I had no idea. I don't even know how to take that. Could you
because lobster tail you use for stuff like shabu shabu, which is a Japanese broth that's hot enough to cook the individual lobster. It's a long muscle strand. Is it seriously? Like the lobster, you can't tell a lobster tail from a lobster claw. I literally
could not tell the lobster tail from a claw if you gave it to me.
Oh my goodness!
I could tell the legs because of the shape.
And this is me not trying to swear.
No, you can swear.
Take a big old swig of this.
I swear a lot. No, I could not tell the difference. Dude, I probably couldn't tell the difference between lobster and crab. I'm going to be straight up with you.
I mean, there's some very delicious crabs out there that are pretty close.
But I feel like I don't know anybody else who could. Maybe this is like one of those things where like it's normal to you because like you and everybody
Oh yeah, if you're people, I mean, dude, people are always, if you're looking for it, obviously people will find fault. And once again, Nick, I'm not trying to poo-poo you.
No, I think this is cool. No, don't take this the wrong way. I think this is awesome.
Well, I know it's New England as fuck to know how to rip open a lobster, extract the tasty parts of it, and then put them in your mouth, and usually things get pretty cool from there.
There is a difference. So, what's the difference between crab and lobster? Is that a texture or a flavor?
Well, with a crab, depending on which type of crab you're eating, so like a molting blue crab becomes your soft shell crab. So you take that mofo when he's still alive, and he's just exchanged his skin layer.
Okay.
Yeah, you drop into a buttermilk or an egg wash, and then like a 50-50 combo of seasoned flour
while he's still
cornstarch.
Alive? You're coating him? No, I know. I'm just curious.
Right?
I didn't know
eating a dead crab is not a cool experience.
I didn't know. I don't know.
I know. Actually, one of the weirdest restaurant concepts I ever came up with, and I was hoping to get some financial backing for it, but I was on a lot of drugs at the time.
Okay.
So where Spite used to be, remember Spite?
Yep.
There's a spiteful bar for spiteful people. I know, but I mean, no, Megan's a doll. They're all like that whole crowd's cool. But I wanted to whole line the whole thing with like aquariums, like an old school pet shop, and have you pick out your own mollusks to consume.
That's cool. I like that. All right, I can fuck with that. That's
Well,
just
the
like,
freshness is paramount.
isn't that those things are wicked popular down south? The fucking the crab hammers. You fucking grab you like.
Oh, no, that's Mid Atlantic, not down south. Now down south, they eating a crayfish is like eating a small lobster all in like two fucking gulps. Like banging open a blue crab, that's it. It's a very fun Maryland thing. There's a lot of hardos down there.
Oh really? I thought that was like a
Those dudes
Florida
are.
thing.
Oh, I know Florida's stone crab, and I can get down on that all the time. So, like a stone crab, they harvest very economically consciously because they are a very crucial part of the ecosystem as far as how they clean up the bottom of the ocean correctly. You only rip the claw off, and then you throw the crab back in the water, and he continues on his life cycle, just playing in the ocean deep.
And it
And it's
evens
pretty cool.
the playing field for all of them because none of them have a claw. So it's not like you're just doing it to one.
Yeah, absolutely. They're just banging each other in the head with no defense.
Nice. I like that. Yeah, so that's wild. I like the idea of choosing your own mollusk. I feel like I've seen that. I saw a fucking video of a guy or of a restaurant where you have to catch your own fish. There's like a pool.
Yeah, I've seen that too. That's a interesting, cool concept. Once again, I don't think the local market is ready for something like
No,
that.
I think it's in Japan mostly.
Yeah, well, Japan is I mean, there is nothing in America that compares to like mid-range Japan. Like Las Vegas is badass. Roppongi, District of Tokyo, no. He,
My buddy James lives there. And he said,
Disney movie versus Sony
my
movie.
friend James lives there, and he said that it's literally like living in the future. He's like, it's just the craziest shit you've ever seen.
People don't want to interact with anybody except you are just absolutely out of this world different.
It's like
And everybody there who wants to interact with people, it does their best to be out of this world different. But the bar food, the environment, the only time I've ever been to Japan, I end up in Hashin. Hashin is basically like the Boston of Japan,
okay.
and I end up in like their local equivalent of a sports bar, and they're like, "Oh, baseball game about to start. Maybe you move over." I was like, "Okay," trying to be nice. And these dudes show up in like dressed up in Mikado gear to chant for their baseball team, sing all the songs in perfect unity. It was like Catholic church, but everyone was gassing cheap sake. It was mind blown.
So with you, you were in the military and you did you travel a lot with the? I'm assuming in the military.
Yeah, I was one of those weird caught in betweens because I enlisted before September 11th. So after the sporting thing didn't work out because I never got taller than like 5'7".
That'll happen.
Yeah, so the low center of gravity thing's always been like a big thing of mine. I ended up joining the United States Marine Corps, and at this time there was no major. The last major conflict was Desert Storm. There wasn't really anything going on in the world. I did the blind sign a contract. Told my lady to have a good time and seek new fun. And I pieced out of New Hampshire. And it's weird because the stewardess on the flight was like, obviously she knew what that flight meant. Because there was two dudes in like full uniforms and like 8 ding dongs who were dressed like they were either really big fans of Run DMC or really big fans of Limp Bizkit. And I asked her for a beer, and she was like, "Here's 2. You're gonna need them." And I was like, "I don't think it'll be that bad." Oh, yeah.
But with all your travel, were you like, and your background in dining, was it like obviously you're traveling the world doing your military thing, but like were you learning and appreciating and going through?
Oh yeah, you got seeing how people take a exceptional, simple ingredient and turn it into so much more with the means they have at hand. Like Americans love the fact that they're grilling with mesquite, but think of those people who that's the only wood they can burn. It just happens to make meat taste good. You just have to gather a fuck ton of it because it grows like a blueberry bush and it burns wicked fast. But like, seeing Eastern Africa, how they make make what we would have in America as our like standard dinner, how they stretch that, how they make it palatable for a general community. That's why chefs exist. Like all the what people consider different dining was just taking a way to nourish and give to a public with a small manner of means and still make it palatable. Like most of the things in French cooking is the part of the animal you don't want to eat. I mean, I don't want to eat. I know sweetbreads are very, very delicious if you remove the membrane, flash fry them,
Wait,
but I would
sweetbreads?
not have it in my body. Sweetbreads, it's the thalamus gland of a lamb.
Okay, I assumed it
So
was
what
a
kind of
bread.
fucking nutty ass French cook? Yeah, I know, but what kind of nutty ass dude was like, well, this part of the lamb's brain, this looks might be delicious. They used to serve lobster to prisoners in Maine. Like if you violated King George's treasonous garbage, no, you're
I
going
mean,
to have
lobsters are
three
just
lobsters a
giant sea
day.
bugs, like, right? So like,
They're descended from cockroach. Well, they're descended from any sea arachnid because they have three mandible legs and then the
do
castanets that are
bugs
built in.
taste like lobsters?
The only bugs I actually like are deep fried giantes, chili and lime, because especially when you're wicked hungover in Mexico, all of a sudden you get a salty, hitty snack. It's
Those are
okay.
like crickets, right? I've had deep fried crickets.
Yeah, it's a flash fried grasshopper coated with like tagine and fucking fresh
Yep.
lime.
No, those are
And they
fantastic.
put them in the
They
bags.
taste
Oh,
like,
very
yeah,
happy.
they just taste like chips, pretty much, or like nuts or something.
Yeah, it's like a nutty version of a circular tortilla chip with a very thin crust.
No, they are good.
But they're like, oh, they're delicious. I mean, other bugs, not so much a fan. I always give it a whack. One of the weird tricks they teach you in the out of 29 Palms, California, the desert survival, they teach you how to catch ants, and it's supposed to be your coffee supplement for the morning. So in your military ready eat kit, you only get X amount of things. And one of the tricks you pull is you lick the coffee spoon, you sprinkle sugar, and you put it by an anthill. And on your left hand, you are making your morning coffee. And you're supposed to see how many ants you can actually catch, and then they die, obviously, in the wicked hot, steaming, powderized coffee blend. And you're supposed to down that
Huh.
and get ready to trade freedom for oil.
Well, that's exciting. That's so fuck. It's like it's like at that point you're like you must just be like hoping that something else is gonna happen. You know what I mean? Like I feel like
No, it's learning how to. It's the good Homer Simpson quote. It's not the worst day of your life. It's the worst day of your life so far. And so it makes you just kind of stop and smell it. That's been a big part of my recovery from early onset CTE, TBI, being blown up, getting concussions. Uh, you stop and appreciate the little things, and you really like nights like tonight, watching my crew execute what we determined as a group to be the best way to execute it with a full house. I just wouldn't trade it for the world.
That's fantastic. So it sounds like you really love what you do.
Yeah, leaving the restaurant industry, everybody does it and they try to get the quote, big kid job. And there's a good portion of people that do succeed using the tools they gained in the restaurant industry. For me, I use the hybrid of the military with the restaurant industry. And in situations where people pleasing is an absolute, like some people just want to be pleased. In corporate America, there's a lot of people who they want to be pleased, but you can only take it so far before you become an asshole.
Right.
And I found myself back in that corner. My last restaurant job before I made the quote unquote big kid switch was going to work at the Bedford Murphys. Previous to that, I had been working with Keith in Manchester, and Keith's a good guy. A lot of people don't like him. I completely understand. A lot of people don't like me. All I can do is go back and adjust their ties and flies. But working in Bedford, New Hampshire,
I can't. Yeah, fuck that.
It taught me how terrible man's indifference to man. People who are too dumb to know what they're doing. Oh, it was wonderful.
Dude, you can't. I struggle going just to the store in Bedford. I don't know how I could work there.
The Bedford Mobile is Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
You don't go even if you're going to Dunkin' Donuts drive-through there, you're a better man than me, Dunkin' Donuts. You can get plowed over by some fucking angry Bedford housewife who's bringing all her kids to soccer practice just because she's trying to. Yeah, no. I stop in there. I take the spot next to the handicap spot. I look both ways before crossing the 6 inches of concrete. And Steve's a good guy. God bless the people at Worthing's Mobile in Bedford, but good God, they're just the last point of civilization before you get to other places, and their last spot before it becomes a Stephen King novel.
Yeah, no, that's definitely. Yeah, New England's weird like that though. I mean, probably all places are like that. I've just never been anywhere else, but it's you do have these high class places right next to these just absolute fucking sticks, just these absolute bogs where fucking witches and gremlins.
It's how fast you get to the highway, how fast you get somewhere where there's a center. That's why towns like Bow, property values are going through the roof.
Or you see a fucking
Amherst isn't that bad.
Dude, even see that though, just house to house. Fucking Wyndham is a good example of that, where you have a $2 million house sitting next to just some fucking shack that someone erected in 1930, and it's just fucking grandfather.
They bought it from it's a cat. Oh, look at that! That's a cat sighting. Yeah. Oh, those do back in the day when you have you're paying more for the plot of land than you are for Montgomery Ward to come set your house up. Yeah. That those days are LFG. They are long fucking gone.
I was just having a conversation about someone the other day about how Sears used to just you could buy a house through Sears and Robux. You just fucking had it was in their catalog that you could just buy a house and they'd fucking bring it out and build it for you. They were the first major retailer. So once again, I always bring up history as a gauge of somebody's knowledge, because history, it's same stage, the players only merely change. So, WMUR, reputable news organization, run by the Randolph Hearst Company, Hearst Communications. Oh, really?
Dude, they were the bad guys in Newsies.
I didn't even know that. I didn't know WMUR was
run by Hearst. They think we're nothing. Are we nothing? No.
You have a very diverse knowledge base. You can Newsies songs. You fucking cook. You're a military guy. Your box is very very all over the place.
No, dude, you never stop learning. You always are willing to listen to other people. Yeah, you just pick up what you can. It's all those little.
I didn't realize WMUR was a Hearst Corporation or a Hearst company though.
well, most ABC broadcasts because there's the first three. Like, dude, I'm thinking about America in like 2000, or excuse me, 1910. Like, as everybody's rushing to try to bring technology and information fast, because information is the big gig. You have the corporate broadcasting company, the national broadcasting company, the American broadcasting company, and how are they marketing themselves? And those three corporate entities are still alive today with Viacom, uh, Xfinity, like and the Hearst Communications. Like every small market is still a community, owned by them.
I fucking hate Xfinity. I just paid them today, those cocksuckers. Sorry, that's
I'm actually very no, trust me. So like when I left the restaurants to try to get my big kid job, the only big kid job that was hiring at the time was working at Best Buy.
dude, that's got to be a
So
sick job. I think that would be an awesome job.
it was I had a blast because I was working with like other terrible Manchester people like Benji Day, Rich Dyer, Aiden Horn. So if you ever need to see Aiden Horn, he's typically like just cleaning the floors downstairs at Forbidden Fruit in the basement. But he's a great
Fuck, is
kid.
Forbidden Fruit still open?
I think they're one of the. I'm sure they did the best in the pandemic of any Manchester.
Probably, but I didn't. I actually thought they had closed. I thought they closed around when Good Times closed. Am I wrong?
Oh, well, though,
I never went there a ton. I don't but I just thought they had closed. I only went there a few times.
I've only gone in there shopping for clothes, so I mean, whatever goes on
You went to
downstairs.
Forbidden
Hey,
Fruit shopping for clothes?
yeah, do you not? You gotta find something special.
I've yeah. I mean, there's some weird. I've heard
Yeah.
some very weird stories about. I have
Oh,
some
it's
very
it's one of
weird
those.
stories about that.
It's a deep urban legend, and
Now I'm actually
yeah,
really curious
no,
if they're still open. Can someone fuck? Here, I'll have Chris. Chris, can you see if Forbidden Fruit is still open? Like Google it, because I guess I could just Google it. But anyways, so you travel around the world. You're fucking international man of mystery, and chef. Did you at this time when you were in the military? Were you still cooking? Were you still like getting after that part of your life?
no. So no, when I was in the military, my primary job, my first job in the military was I was 0351, which is infantry anti-tank assault. So you either get placed in one of two roles. Role one, you become an honest to God tank hunter, which means two you jump into a tank, or excuse me, jump into a Jeep. One of them drives around. It's the Mercedes Benz GL 350 or GLK 350, just in the military purpose. So dudes roll around in that and wait for the tank to come try to hunt that down. And
we're driving German cars over there.
the only people driving fucking American cars over there are probably the bad guys and a lot of the
I thought they were all
dudes.
driving Toyota. I thought it.
Oh, that is like the best memes I ever see. Is I like so I remember like walking down Sleepy Town, fucking Arifa, Iraq, and I'm like, why does everybody have a Toyota? Is it Toyota phone? And I missed it.
The Toyotas last forever. They're the fucking dude. You see anytime you watch like any kind of fucking documentary that takes place in a developing country, it's like there's like the one there's like the Toyota that the town uses, and they got like a fucking it's running on like just fucking hopes and dreams, and like they got like the gas tank is now dangling above the fucking engine, and it just runs down, and it's like
they got a totally IV. Especially Africa, it's wicked hilarious because you also see a lot of the European, like you see like Renaults out there.
oh, really?
Like you're talking like a car that has all the engine power of a Mazda Miata that seats four, and there's like two jabronis and a machine gun set up on it, and they
Did you see that?
There, dude, those are and not only that, there's like girls over there like,
Did you see the?
I hope
Have
he
you seen that
chooses to
meme
marry
of
me.
like the fucking? I guess, or it's not even a meme. It was like a news story at one point where, so a guy turned in his
Oh, the local plumber
the
dude.
plumber.
Yeah,
Yes,
his car
the
like chipped.
plumber.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's waste recycling 101 in America. Because especially when you do like hard electrical recycles, the only American part of it is extracting any gold follicle from it, and everything else is shipped to the Zhejiang, Japan,
Right.
where the only spot in Japan where capitalism is remotely allowed, and 8-year-olds are melting down these pieces of plastic to extract like
Jesus Christ.
paper clips with them.
Right. Whatever they can fucking pull out of the to recycle.
It's become a big industry in America. Like the whole concept of electronics recycling or like mass metal waste recycling, because steel jumped up. Like 2 years ago, steel jumped up. It's about 2 to 4 years ago. Almost every hard commodity jumped up, and the Democratic Party is like taking like credit for it becoming like 1/8 of the way back down. And I'm like, hey,
I work in or I used well now I do video. This is a weird transition because in December I fucking switched to full time, but before that I spent 20 years doing auto body, like commercial fleet vehicles.
yeah,
So like I fucking know exactly what you're talking about. But yeah, the like we saw even like steel, like even now parts are 6 months, 12 months away. Like even aluminum parts, even like everything. It's all fucking it's all like impossible to get.
uh, a wonderful thing I'd like to share. So I purchased a LR22 life card made out of aluminum from a Chinese factory,
Wait, what
and
is
I'm
it?
so interested. So the life card LR22 was is a. I mean, there are American weapons that are awesome, and some are just absolutely the tits. And this is so the life card 22. It's about the size of half a pack of cigarettes,
Okay.
and you cock this thing open, and you can discharge a round that will most likely disable your attack. Call of Duty is wrong. There is no such thing as stopping power. If you shoot somebody, they are very upset. They don't want to play ball no more.
Right.
And so what this thing does is it fires off a 22. So an LR22 round, so about 28 grain, right behind a quarter of a penny's worth of actual round
Right.
that you can discharge it. It's the new Derringer.
I used to. So actually, funny story about a Derringer. I actually got to meet the ATF one time because a fucking gun that I had sold at one point was used in some, or I guess the guy got arrested. He was just carrying it, and I don't know if they were trying to just boost up charges on him or what. But it was a Derringer that shot a 38. It was like a over/under barrel that shot a 38 round. And
Did you keep it? I was saying, did he keep it under? Why didn't you just keep it under his skirt?
I used to carry it
I
all
mean,
the time.
I have no
I
room
used
to
to
talk.
carry it for because I would wear basketball shorts all the time, and so it was fucking super easy to just throw in my basketball shorts though. But that was the loudest fucking gun I've ever used. It was so fucking loud because the barrel ended like where the bullet ended, like where the bullet started.
As the bullet goes, like especially with that, it's basically going Sonic in front of your face.
It was like probably I would say I bet you the barrel only extended like maybe an inch past where the bullet was. It was fucking like right there.
Yeah, exactly. The life card's built the same way. I'm interested to see. I'm not going to put my hand behind it, but I'm going to construct either a robot hand or some sort of jury rig to make sure this is.
And it's aluminum.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. And I'm like,
I don't know. That seems. I mean, that seems dangerous. I mean, good for you.
I mean, it's one of those things. It's like seeing it. You can see a grenade explode once. You typically don't see it explode twice because you're an idiot and you watch the grenade explode.
So, anyways, back to cooking.
Oh,
We
sorry.
don't. No. Don't be sorry.
Oh no, dude. Hey, dude. You steer. I'm just gonna.
You're doing great. Have you done this
I'm doing my
before?
best. No, I just smoked a lot of pot.
Nice, excellent. Chris has a 1-star review from Forbidden Fruit. They are still open, but it sounds like the quality has gone downhill. And he said he had a 1-star review that he was going to share with me, but he hasn't shared it yet, and that was a while ago, so I don't know what happened. But I'm looking forward. I didn't realize that people actually reviewed Forbidden Fruit, so I'm excited for this. I can't imagine going to a sex shop and then leaving a review. I mean, I guess every business needs feedback, right?
That's how you have to. I just be like, well, it just seems. I think they kind of cover all bases. So I disagree with this 1-star review.
From what I remember, it was a great sex shop. What were you gonna say?
Well, no, I was respecting the honesty of the.
So you're fucking traveling the world. You learn how to cook, or like you're not cooking at all at this point, and you come back and you get out of the military, and then what brought you back to the food service industry?
Well, I got out of school. I got out of the military. I came home for 2 days. Pardon me. There we go. I got home. I took a look around. I was like, I don't want to move pianos. Don't want to be. So better go to school. And I was like, oh, well, I have a head start in this. I know how it takes to lead a kitchen. At the time, McIntyre was doing the joint stuff with the UNHT school. Sorry. Yes. Okay. So I did the Joint Associates program, run through the VA, and went to McIntyre to get my culinary degree, and got my hospitality management from the T school, Ball Dobson School. Hey, UNH.
Are you okay? You need a minute?
Oh yeah, no, I just sorry, this is a good teeth. There we go.
There you go.
What lungs
Now
again?
I'm better.
I know. So I went into the whole college experience at UNH. Life was good. A restaurant was opening up in Amherst at the time, Eden, and me and very good chef, very wanted to do what he wanted to do, and our visions didn't mesh. And I was like, well, I just went to school. I'm better than you, even with my experience. And I just almost me a good bit. And then I ended up bartending at chain restaurants. It was cool. I had like 42 pieces of flair when I worked at TGI Fridays.
Oh, this is awesome. 42 pieces of flair. This is like the hero's journey. You went down, and then like now you came up, and then you went down again, and now we fucking know you end on the high. You know.
Well, no, I just as you learn the spectrum of how all different restaurants are run, you find that happy medium of what makes things good. And that's especially with the restaurant group I'm involved with now, where everything that Peter Delge does with and Ed Baruti and those dudes, they've accepted the fact that there's a definite niche for the need. They know their market. They may never have done great, but they always excel at just being excellent.
Right.
And
I feel like at least, and I don't know them, but I know Stark. I've eaten there a bunch, and I really love their food and love their atmosphere, love everything about the place. And I will say that what they do really well is they bring because I never would have considered them kind of like fine dining, but what they do is they bring was super high level to someone like to normal people, right? Like I would never go to like
Well, you make something approachable.
right, but it's like it's you can tell when you're eating it that that it's not what you typically get, right? And like, but
Oh yeah, it's
it doesn't feel like you're going to the Hanover Street Chop House or like a place that is very pretentious or like it feels very approachable, like you said,
well like
even to a hillbilly like me.
Chef Rob Bolson, who when I was there like the first time, just working as like a front of house manager, he's just the most chill, laid back dude and understood that. And he told me like one very important fact. He's like, dude, nothing on the menu people want to have problems pronouncing.
That's true. It's a good point.
And he just would be like, well, it's not this, it's sticky, sticky Thai chicken.
Right.
And he just did like a nice traditional satay.
Right.
And just a really good, just big influencer in my life and big influencer in my Ooh. Just a good chef in the state of New Hampshire that we are. I mean, we didn't lose him, like lose him. Like he's not dead.
That's good. I'm
He just
glad to
moved to
hear
the U.S.
you're okay,
Virgin
Chef.
Islands. Tag. His name is Robert Paulson. So
Is it really?
nobody. Oh, I know it's the
That's
best.
hilarious.
Yeah, I know, but nobody on. Once again, until paper streets are chanting. Dude moved to Saint. He moved to the U.S. Virgin Islands. And he's just.
Good for him.
He's cooking barefoot. God bless him. Like guys, like chefs like Sergio Metez, Steve Shoemaker, all those dudes. Like back when I was a bartender, we'd all just be wasting our minds. We'd go to one common house and be like, okay, here's a secret ingredient. And you got dudes dicing up like Totino's pizza rolls to try to reconstitute them as a thought. It
That
just
sounds wonderful. No, that sounds
it was
my
awesome,
level. That
dude.
sounds right where I need to be. I do love.
It's like right now I'm the only like hired chef on the planet because Ooh.
And so, when did they approach you with the opportunity to be the head chef at Bond?
So we end up like when we were playing like the first Mass expansion, we end up with like a wealth of talent. Chef Monica Cody, she came from Soho after Soho had their social kerfuffle. Uh, Chef Alex Stoltzman, he
Soho
just
was in
departed
the
the
same
company.
building as fucking. Isn't that place always having
Yes.
problems?
Yeah, well, you guys, and this is once again not restaurant gossip, but the young lady who is running the front for Tommy Guns is it just uh, she is unwell.
She's done well.
No, she is
Oh, I
unwell.
see. Okay.
Yeah, so that's all. I mean, the words. Yeah, I'm good
I
with
don't
that.
even know what Tommy Guns is. Is that where Soho used to be now?
So Tommy Gunn used to own whiskeys,
Whiskey. That was the fucking one I was thinking of.
yeah, and that whole like shebang. He's an old party promoter from back in the day. He's a good guy. Like fundamentally, into some points, he just has fallen into a kind of a rough spot. He got blown up on Turtle Boy pretty good
Yep.
for the. Yep.
Yes, he did.
But back in the day, that's how. Oof. I should be drinking Gatorade, but that's right there.
That's all right. It's a celebration. You just had your soft opening. So when is it? When do you guys open like real deal? When do you guys like full open, full send?
We've got menu adjustments. So all next week is going to be a lot of administrative. So we're going to be closed tomorrow. Probably we'll do like short lunch Monday. We've started looking and seeing just people are so excited for it and seeing like how in such a short period of time, so many people have come back to try different things,
Right.
not just like different people, like groups, companies, like Chase Bank, people from the Greenwood Baruby Group. They've come down, they've tried multiple things. It's because it's like if Chipotle actually made food. And like a lot of the barbecues and stuff, especially they know it's being made right downtown, people are very apt to try it.
And what's the cross street it's on? It's on Elm
Elman, yeah, Elman Concord.
Congress
Sorry.
Street. Someone just asked in the chat.
Dude, why is the meeting chat not showing up?
It should if you have the YouTube, like the live show open on. If you have YouTube open with my show open, then it should be right in the bottom. You should be able to see it. So you guys have been open for 3 days, and did you was just kind of like testing to see if there was any issues that you guys were going to run into, or like that kind of thing, what you wanted to change, what you wanted to adapt, and then next week you close it down again, and then you like make the adjustments that you discovered the last couple days?
Yeah, there we go. I just finally got it like right up on YouTube.
That's okay. Just mute it so that it doesn't pick up on your mic.
Ah,
Yeah, Chris has been here for a while. He always comes hangs out with me.
all right. Yeah, I know. So, it's weird because I went in Wednesday and we are like, okay, let's see everything, ready for the weekend. This is the focus. And all of a sudden they're like, well, it's opening day. Why don't we just do it the same day? Okay, I guess we can make it work. And we made it work. It's like everything we've done so far.
How long did it take to go from like how early do you need to like start your prep and shit before you like actually are able to sell the food?
Sorry, I apologize. I just pulled it up on my computer.
No, that's okay.
And so I'm gonna.
Do we look good?
Like how early?
Can you if you just turn it all the way down so that you can't, because your mic's picking it up. Perfect.
All right.
Yeah, so now you can see the chat.
All right. Now I'll just kind of guess how because. Ooh.
And so next week you're making you're making your changes, and then you're gonna open again, or not again, but you're gonna open for the grand opening.
That's like kind of the goal. With what we're seeing, it's very different from what we expected kind of to see. Like the lunch response, I don't know if it's just because it's something new, something different in the area. It's been unexpected.
Yeah.
It's I think a lot of restaurants, because they have staffing issues, aren't doing their best during the day. Where like with like the Stark family restaurants, we've been very lucky because we have a wealth of the rehabilitation processes. We have people.
Yeah, well, you were saying you and me had talked a little bit the other day, and you were saying that the employee retention is really good because you guys are able to treat your employees well, and you end up with a situation where you have people who are there and able and willing to do the work, and that's not exactly the case everywhere right now, especially in the food service industry.
Oh, so dude, I'm no longer trying to do this through like the joint thing.
Okay, that's fine. It's all good. Did you do it? You're still you're still good. You're still on. What are you trying to do? What 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 are you trying to do? What's happening?
No, I know. I was hoping you would say something because I thought it was something wrong.
Oh.
I tried to share the YouTube, so I'll take the hit on this one for being unprofessional.
Okay. With the what? So what's your favorite thing they got on the menu right now over there? Or what's the
What
thing?
we're doing with brisket is absolutely absurd. It's a great product. Great, it's consistent. Uh, Between sous chef, Chef Monica and Chef Tiffany, uh, it feels so good that they are so on board that they just do it right every time.
So how
And
many chefs are there?
so right now we're at division of power wise, like sous chefs and real chefs.
I don't know. I don't know the difference. What's the sous chef?
Yeah, but no, it's for us more. It's a kind of a joint collective, but it's just how rank is assigned. But Monica Cody's a chef. Tiffany Physic is a chef. They just fall under. It's it's a sign of respect and a show of respect to your
Is
coworkers.
there like an official way to get like a chef title? Like, is there something you have to do that like you jump over a broomstick and now you're a chef, or is it just like kind of if you end up in the position of chef, then you're just a chef?
No, you design cooks perform recipes, chefs create recipes.
Gotcha. So all you have to do to become a chef is create a recipe.
You have to inspire other people to follow you.
Okay. But like,
Oh yeah, like college certifications. No, they make me chef.
I didn't know if there's like if you like got to go to
Oh
like
no.
culinary school and like get a diploma or something, or like if there's like because like I feel like didn't the didn't like the like French style cooking doesn't it have like a whole series of like ranks in it, and like there a way to like
Yeah, it's
achieve
actually
those?
yeah. Well, it's so close. You know, it's weird. It's another military weird connection. That's Napoleonic grade structure.
Okay,
So it's like the rule of threes. You have three people, person in charge of them, three people in charge of those people, and it branches out.
gotcha.
That's what separates in American military. It's what separates a fire team from a squad to a platoon to a company to a battalion to a regiment, and they do that all in the kitchen.
Gotcha.
If only they were better at war.
But the there's no like you don't have to like do a certain thing or like like chef is a chef. It's you don't have to like you don't have to graduate or like whatever.
He created the bare minimum I hold for that requirement is you create a recipe, you put out your art, you you put your best out, and someone's willing to pay you for it. It doesn't matter if you're on my payroll or not. You're a chef.
Gotcha.
I'm just blessed because like Benny Stockwell, you know, you know, Chef Benny Stockwell, Chef Monica Cody, Chef Tiffany Fisk. I'm so Chef Alex Stoltman. I'm blessed with a bunch of people that all share a common vision, and they're all willing to get on the boat, run out, and go shoot some Germans.
All right, or in the or delaminate a glaze.
No, no, we don't want to like put that much pressure because it's like every St. Patrick's Day. You know, in every restaurant, Manchester has a corned beef specials.
Yeah,
Like
right. I actually
my crew, dude, they were Chuck E. Cheese in it, just absolutely. Like, yeah.
dude, every year I always see online it's like there's I see at least 2 dozen things that are like where can I get corn you know corned beef on St. Patrick's Day. It's like, dude, literally anywhere. You could fucking walk down the street and probably trip over it. What the fuck? Like, how can you not
Dude,
find it?
and the funny thing you say in Manchester about that is most homeless people are like, oh, I grabbed an XYZ restaurant.
I know you do a lot of work with veteran services, not veteran services like the official veteran services, right? But
Oh, you do the outreach. You do the outreach stuff. For me, I like if I were to say what percentage of the United States military do you believe picks up a rifle and shoots at a bad guy?
what percentage?
Absolutely.
I don't know, probably like 15%, 20%.
Ooh, 1 to 3.
Really? Huh.
It takes 22 people to support one infantryman.
Wow, that's pretty wild.
And especially when you're the dumb out there that just fell out of a helicopter and you're sitting there and being like, is that my night vision's busted. Is that a lion or is that a meerkat?
Wait, so it takes 23 people for every one person that's actually on the front line?
Absolutely.
Huh.
Because you have administrative people indeed.
Is there overlap
You have,
there? Is there like overlap? Like one of the people, like one of the, like the 21st person, they deal with like a couple people, or is it like for everyone?
oh no, it's well, obviously there's no because you have in the military, excuse me, in the United States Marine Corps, O1s, administrative. So they are literally using a 15-year-old desk system to determine personnel files.
Right.
You go to O2s, those are O2 in the Marine Corps is intelligence gathering. So you get the weird. There's like some hardos. They get to just like take they get keys to a Jeep and drive out, and they go to like the nearest place with the Pepsi sign, and they're allowed to go there. And O3s are infantry. Every single military movie you've ever seen is about the infantry.
Right.
Because we're dumb. We're sons of Thistocles, basically.
Sons of what?
Any society, Thistocles.
Elaborate.
Any society that any society who I just had to judge this so I didn't look any more like TC. Any society who judges their ability to fight war by their any society who separates their fighting class versus their thinking class will find their fighting done by weaklings and their thought done by fools. Best translation.
Gotcha.
And especially with like General Mattis trying to preach the whole. Granted, it was like kind of like a cop out to a bunch of us who got out with PTSD. That whole warrior monk movement, which is why every 4 years a bunch of us switch from becoming Spartan warriors to Vikings, Celts. Yeah,
Right.
that's cool.
Well, I mean, yeah, I feel like that's always the way those things go, right? It's like war is a rich man's game played out by, poor people.
A lot of the times gotta find your best way. Like when I see somebody in a grunt style t-shirt, I'm like, what are you doing with this? You see someone with a 9 line t-shirt, you're like, oh my God, when's the last time you called a 9 line? By the way, a 9 line is how you call in a medical evacuation.
All right.
So, a fun joke to
Is Nine Line
fuck with the squares.
and Nine Line is like a T-shirt company?
It's a military clothing company.
Huh. Seems like a weird. If that's how you call in like a medical evac, that seems like a weird choice.
But once again, if I didn't know it, if I didn't tell you it, you're like, oh my God, look at that logo. Covered with 9 lines.
No, he's a cat. That's a cat man. But yeah, no, that's a. Sorry, I'm fucking tired. Before coming on, I'm sure you're tired too. Before coming on here, for some reason my head started just like ripping, fucking like 2 hours before we started, and it never stopped. I don't know what's going on up there, but nothing good.
Could be worse. You'd be a Kennedy. They could actually drill a hole in your head. And,
Yeah, that's like.
sorry,
I'm here for it. That was like, they do that shit. I mean, that's how. Have you ever seen Grey's Anatomy? They did that in Grey's Anatomy one time. They like drilled a hole in a guy's head to like relieve his encephalitis.
Yeah, it's a very interesting thing. I feel so bad because like my wife is like the most perfect person on earth. Like my wife is like she's a downtown Manchester celebrity. She was like best waitress in the city for like 5 6 years, and she just casually was like, oh, ha, ha. Dude, Tara is such a. I couldn't even tell you.
Dude, you and also to everybody out there, like you, it's adorable how much you love your wife. Like you fucking are like always talking about her and just always gloating and always like just bragging about her. It's really nice the way you do that. By the way, just wanted to tell you that.
Oh, it's that just anybody who's ever met her before knows, and just the fact that other people don't know how great she is always like, oh, dude, come on, it's got me happy. Ah.
Yeah, no, I think that's awesome. I mean, if you can't love the person you're with, then like, what's the point, you know? And like, it's just nice
Dude,
to see.
Can't find, dude, because what are we here for?
Especially because like
like, honestly.
I feel like we're still coming out of that marriage bad, like spouse bad type of like mentality, and so like now we're.
Well, dude, as a general population, we've just all like everything got slowed down. People aren't getting married at like 22 anymore. They're not buying houses and they're fucking. And it's all been kind of built upon the current socioeconomic status of America. There are no more nuclear families. We're all just building our own families, and I'm all for it.
Right.
Like, it's.
Well, me and my wife have been together for 13 years. We've been engaged for 6. But like,
you better put a ring on it, motherfucker.
Yeah, I mean, I love her. She loves me. We call each other husband and wife. We don't like. It's just like. It just doesn't feel like we need to get the government involved. I guess I don't know. It's just like.
I hammered a piece of 4570 brass cap that I tried to shoot a pig with. That was also provided me by one Philip McCotter with a pearl inlaid by an oyster I murdered. True chief said pearl to give it to the Queen of Storm's End.
You made your own rings?
Yeah, do you don't?
That's cool. I mean, I don't.
Oh no, she got none of that. I got this.
I make videos, dude. That's about as far as I go for me.
I know.
That's nice.
Well, no, she was able to put Frank Reynolds' will and testament on my medical bracelet.
What's it say on it?
Just throw me in the trash.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's an interesting story because I always tell my wife that when I die, I want to be thrown in a Rite Aid dumpster because I want to live on forever as a cold case file. Just cut off my hands and head and throw me in a Rite Aid dumpster, and then just let the rest play out. And then forever I'll be kept alive in someone's in someone's cold case file.
I just want you to be buried. If you're going to be buried in a dumpster, I hope it's up on Hanover Street because I don't think the Elm Street one
I want the Mammoth.
he fits.
So I used to go to I used to like the Rite Aid on Mammoth Road used to be like my fucking. That was like my get.
Yeah, I used to live up there in Coos Commons.
All right, yeah. So like that used to be my spot. I used to go there all the time. I was like the fucking. I knew everybody. That was like my gas station, pretty much, except not a gas station. That was like the place where I got all my shit because I used to drink Monster Energy drinks like crazy, and they were the ones who kept them the cheapest. So fucking, I went there forever, and that was so I was always like, well, just fucking cut off my head and my hands and throw me in that dumpster. So that way it's like, someone will find me, and then it'll be like a surprise, and then nobody will know. It'll be like my last prank I get to play.
Oh, come on. I know it's April Fool's. That's why you had me on.
That was
so.
no. You were the one who said that. You were the
come
one who
on.
chose April Fools. You were the one who chose April Fools.
Oh, I know. I'm the silliest gooses in all the April Fools.
It is almost midnight, and so we're gonna start wrapping up here. Is there anywhere? What can I promote for you? What can I plug for you? What can I actually this week? This week we don't have an official sponsor, and so I would like to make Bond Brewing and Barbecue our official sponsor of the Nick Sands Presents podcast this week, because I love them, and I think that Chris is an amazing person, and I can't wait to try the brisket, and all in all, Chris just asked why not cut off the feet, because if you because they can determine who you are by your teeth and by your fingerprints, but
that's why you must remove the hair and the teeth for the little piggy's digestion.
Yeah.
And a grown man can be eaten by a pig in less than 8 hours.
Apparently, I don't know if this is true, but there was this cartoon. It wasn't a cartoon. What the hell was it? It was a TV show, and they said that worms actually can do it faster than pigs. Like, so if you own a worm farm,
mealworms or bloodworms.
Like a worm.
Well,
they make like.
You have a worm guy.
A worm.
I have a worm guy.
A worm farm. I don't know. I kind of want to start a worm farm. That's got to be fun. It's got. Does your worm guy?
Very low maintenance job.
Does your worm guy want to come on my show? I'd love to fucking talk to him.
My worm guy doesn't come. He arrives.
Okay. Can he cut? Well, I'll make him come.
Come on, did he bump?
No, that's good. I like that.
Hey.
I'm gonna steal that too. I don't even remember what the other one I was gonna steal. This is what I do. I tell people I'm gonna steal their shit, and then I just pretend that I'd like forget that I said I was gonna steal it, and I just steal it subconsciously, and then it just becomes mine.
Hey, it's comedy nowadays.
Just call me Carlos.
I'm only gonna plug I caramba. All right, so I'm only gonna plug a couple things. 2nd Battalion, 2nd Marines. Always, we are warlords for life. Anybody in the local Manchester area, donate to Liberty House or the Abbey. Anybody in the local downtown Manchester money area, if you'd like to come and give us your money, I will give you animals that I've slowly cooked in exchange for your money.
He really will do that too.
Yeah, if you're looking for a job, you're looking for an opportunity, I'm always hiring. I can get you a spot at the brewery. I don't care if you want to wash dishes, carry out garbage. You always got a shot with me and Peter. And honestly, as long as we have open dialogues, it's the best thing that we could do for each other.
I love it. So Bond Brewing and Barbecue, get out. When are you guys going to officially open? Do you have a grand opening date?
No, we are going to be fucking with that shit for right about another rest of the month. But we will be back Tuesday-ish for a continued soft opening. Come on in. I will put barbecue sauce on the animal that you want to eat. And I do believe it'll be a great time.
Do you, is there like social media they can follow Bond at?
Right now we are so low key because we are not saying speakeasy style, but anything you do, hashtag Bond Barbecue. You get to see a wonderful piece of me cutting open a wonderful piece of meat and definitely not wanting to interact with it erotically, but a lot of other people did. So yeah,
I saw that video. I saw that video of you cutting open the meat.
Dude, if you want to bring it in, it's a hot pot of coffee. It is right now. It's only exclusive to my OnlyFans, and whoever participates on the Facebook.
It might leak. It might
It might.
leak on
It might.
Instagram. It might
It's
leak on Instagram.
same reason I might be the backup quarterback for the Patriots next year.
You should do that. You should. If Tom Brady's listening, make it happen.
Nick, it's just been great being on the tap tonight with you.
I appreciate you coming on, man, and I really look forward to seeing everything else you're doing. You're doing a lot of awesome shit, and Manchester needs more of it. So thank you. I love you. You're the man, and we will.
Love you too, brother.
We'll talk to you.
Thanks for having me a part of it.
We'll talk to you soon.
Later.
Okay, you can stay on. Well, you don't. Oh wait.